Here comes the Nastygram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is London Calling, Operation Excalibur, Debrief.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic.
3 men sit around a table in a well-lit room. Sitting in the lone chair is Lieutenant Colonel Frederick Fox. Opposite him, beyond the cups of tea and cigarettes resting in the ashtray, is General Sikorsky, in exile from Poland, and Colonel Tentley. They're looking through papers with Fox's stationery.
General Sikorsky closes the folder, hands it back to Colonel Tentley, who takes one last skim through. And he looks up and he says, if you could, Colonel Fox, tell me a little bit more about this. Had a bit of an issue, this village in Poland on the way. SD?
Before I say anything, I'd like to recommend Adrian Zniewski for recognition for what he's done, his sacrifice. I know we're not an official outfit just yet, but he should be remembered.
I've started writing it up myself, General Sikorsky says. I'll need some more information from you. We'll discuss after. I'm putting him in for Hero of Poland.
Fox nods. He lights a cigarette. We entered the town past nightfall. Our mules attracted the attention of Polish police, a detachment in the town, and an SD officer. The situation escalated quickly. The SD officer was subdued. Mr. Zniewski spoke to the Polish police, stirred something within them. National pride, shared sense of honor, fear. Could have been anything. They allowed us to extract the SD officer, and we passed through the town.
General Sikorsky says, might not have been your mission, but there was a victory for Poland. I commend your judgment, handling of the situation. Tell me more about what happened at Globochow. I've read about what happened to Adrian, to Sergeant Zniewski. But the rest, I know what was recovered and what was not able to be. But what more can you say about this, especially this group that was there looking?
Baron Kurt von Baer. He arrived shortly before sunrise, and he put his men quickly to work, searching for the vault. No doubt. We deliberated. We had a sense of urgency for the safety of the staff inside and the mission itself. We decided to take time to reconnoiter, to gather information about von Baer and what we were walking into. We knocked out power, made distractions, and made our way into the manor. We were separated. I can't speak to what the others have done, except what's in their reports.
Colonel Tentley says, I have the reports. What about von Baer? Did you see him, interact with him?
Fox looks uncomfortable, says, shakes his head.
We've got quite a file building on this man.
He's part of a unit, a group. He has his own insignia. They're searching for something, things, looting, pillaging. But the man is determined. His men put up more of a resistance than we could have planned for.
Colonel Tentley leans forward. He grabs another folder, pulls a sheet out, and he slides it across to you. The insignia. Did it look anything like this?
Fox takes one glance and he affirms.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is Josh. I'm going to be your handler, and I'm joined by...
What's good, fam? Matt here. I'm at the table. Adrian is best case scenario in the ground in Poland. Worst case scenario in Poland.
He made it. He made it out. We'll see.
Being alive is worst case.
In the Eagle's Nest.
Hey, folks. Dan here, playing Leo Krona, the British burglar.
Hey, everybody. This is Jake, and I'm playing Emil Adler, the angry gypsy.
This is Devin, and I'll be playing Lieutenant Colonel Frederick Fox, British Intelligence Services.
All right. So this is going to be the first of our getting to get into some home scenes as we finished up Operation Excalibur, a successful mission.
Yeah.
Technically successful. So we're going to do a little housekeeping, and then we're going to get into the awesome things about Delta Green and home scenes, and maybe learn a little bit about these characters before they get back out. So mechanics, first off, you guys got back from the mission, and it was probably about early April by the time you arrived back in Britain. For the 3 that returned, I'm going to have you guys make 2 sanity rolls. First one is going to be the effects of losing a comrade during the mission. So make your sanity check.
Pass.
It has to be
At or under.
at or under your current sanity.
Yes.
Fail. I rolled a 95.
Fail.
Woo!
Big
And I got
fail.
a 26. I passed.
God damn it.
I'll say that again. There was a lot of dice rolling. No. I don't know if you heard me. I got a 26.
Okay, so Emil and Freddy Fox passed. So no sanity damage for that. For the failure, Dan, just 2. But you can check a box for helplessness. And for the overall violent effects of the mission, we did a couple specific ones, but that whole final confrontation, which involved a good amount of killing and a good amount of being on the receiving end of violence, another sanity check.
Probably a tough debrief. Also pass. I'm a professional.
Still 1 on a pass.
Okay.
Fittingly, failed that one.
Okay. 3 sanity damage and a check for you, Emil, in violence. How about Leo?
Pass.
All right, 1 for you.
Do we still
I'm
get
at
a
69.
do we get a check for
Nice.
violence even if we succeeded?
According to the rules, yes, but I'm going to say no. For a pass, I'm not going to give the adapting ones. Part of the reason, you might suspect there could be some unnatural, but the way this game is going to play out is a little different than normal Delta Green. And I don't think it will help the story to have characters getting adapted early, because it actually has negative repercussions too. So it's still going to be a possibility. But that sanity loss might be slower than a traditional Delta Green game.
Do we adjust our breaking point once?
Only when you reach it.
Only when we reach it. Okay.
Correct.
Perfect.
Then we don't have to do this right now because we're going to get into the home scenes. But by the time we step back to the next session, every check mark you have for a scaled fill. Let me try that again. Every check mark you have for a failed skill, you're going to roll a D4 and you gain that many points in that skill. We are going with the updated, which is 1D4, not 1D4 minus 1. So, back in England, and let's go first to Frederick Fox. Where do you want to take us?
I think it starts back at the home, the city manor of Lieutenant Colonel Victor Lloyd. Per his request, the last time we talked, he asked Frederick Fox to come back and tell him how it all went, and he plans to do that.
All right. So you arrive, a light, cool London rain is falling as the steward opens the door.
Nigel, I greet him, give him my jacket, my hat.
Welcome back, sir.
Nigel.
The colonel's in the sitting room. He's got a fire and beverage ready for you.
Thank you. I can see my way there.
You walk in and Victor's standing by the fire. He turns as you enter and sees you, nods, and immediately reaches for a carafe, kind of lifts it with an eyebrow raised and fills a second glass and walks over to you. hands it, and immediately raises the glass in a toast.
Long live the Queen.
King.
It's king now.
Long.
Are you a German spy?
reality. This is the German tree. Long live the King.
Long live the king for England. Tink.
Andrew, put one of those in there, please.
Please, Freddie, have a seat.
I sit down and get comfortable.
He sits and takes a sip and kind of just takes his time. He doesn't prod you right away.
Fox is trying to think. He's in thought. He doesn't want to reveal. He doesn't want to be in breach of his orders. But he also wants to confide in his friend.
You know, Colonel Lloyd still holds a security clearance.
Okay. Have you been read in on the debrief?
I haven't got to read the whole report, but I understand you accomplished the mission, though not without cost.
No.
To have fallen, he raised the glass again.
Take another drink.
How did it go?
We made it back, most of us. Did our service to an ally. But there's a lot we can't see through the wall.
It's been a while now since you've had to write your own debriefs. I'm sure you've been spending your hours reading over them. It's a little different on the other end of the pen. Would you say you put everything down faithfully?
He takes another swig of his drink.
Fred, this isn't on record. I didn't read the debrief, but I can see it in you, and aside from a loss, I expect things didn't go as you might have hoped.
He's shaking his head. It's like they know something that we don't. Yeah?
Half the continent's under this dark shadow, and I think there's a lot going on we don't know about.
How am I supposed to convey that in a debrief?
By recommendation, Fox, is you might want to write 2 debriefs. Not to cover your ass, but for yourself. One is for you. I don't know if you have more of this work. I know you're cut out for it, if you feel like it, or if you're looking to get back into uniform.
There's a few men, and they're not wearing the uniform. But what they did out there, over there, will be more important than even I suspect.
I had a few agents back in the Great War that I was responsible for, and as vivid as the horrors of Somme and Passchendaele were, there's a different kind of... It's a different strain that kind of work puts on you. You got to keep your head on even tighter because there's less there to back you up. Brigade headquarters aren't 5 miles back. They might be 500.
You still have mates in the service up top?
How do you think you ended up with this connection?
He shrugs and shakes his head.
Oh, if it wasn't for the old knee wound, maybe I'd be back out with you on the next one.
Could I ask something of you, Victor?
Of course.
This team mentions that might be need for more of us. I'd like a facility, a place. Could be up north. Someplace we can pool our resources. Don't need to be too big.
I'll see what I can do. Might have something that works in the interim. My wife's uncle just passed.
Condolences.
Yes, well, they weren't particularly close, but she was the closest there, and as you know, the money doesn't come from my side. At least not much of it. He has an estate up there. He's left it to her. We're quite, for the time, satisfied down here. I can have Nigel give you the details, and if you want somewhere just to get away yourself for now, that's ready for you.
I appreciate that, Victor. Everything's a lot closer these days.
Clear your head, but don't empty it. And if you do, put it down onto paper, for your own sake.
I understand. One more thing. You still have any other files on the germ warfare, the Great War?
He raises his eyebrows kind of in surprise and maybe a little bit of horror.
Fox is dead serious.
I was hoping this wouldn't go back that way.
As was I.
He stands and crosses back to the carafe and refills both your glasses.
I take out a cigarette.
We'll fade out from there. Let's jump over to Jake, Emil.
All right.
Emil Adler, not Emil Hirsch, as I first wrote down. So, no longer a award-winning actor.
We see the exterior of a large group of buildings. Looks almost like a small school campus. We hear children playing. Bottom of the screen, St. Jerome's Home for Orphaned Boys, Cambridge. Cut to the interior. We see Emil wearing a brand new suit. It's like a dark brown color, holding a hat in his hand. Took it off when he came in. His hair is sort of slicked back as he walks into this administrative office.
There's a woman, maybe in her mid-50s, kind of a severe look to her, hair pulled back in a tight bun, crow's feet on each eye. She has a couple ledgers out in front of her. And she looks up as the door opens and you're shown in. She stands.
Hello, Emil Adler.
Yes, I understand you're inquiring about one of our residents.
I kind of look awkwardly and then sit down. He's very tall and lanky, so his knees are kind of up near his chest as he sits in this chair for kids.
She looks down at your maybe thread worn trousers. And...
No, I think he's wearing a brand new suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I'd like to adopt my nephew. His name is also Emil Adler. We're both named after my baba.
Yes, I understand. She kind of gives you an appraising look up and down, and you don't probably bear yourself.
No, I think
he's
kicking his leg, nervously, just kind of bobbing it up and down, holding that hat in his hand and just kind of turning it over, waiting for her to say more.
Yes, well, Mr. Adler, there's a couple prerequisite forms, quite simple.
Oh, yeah. I kind of take him but don't look at him. And I say, well, see, I have money now. So I was thinking I would take him. We'd go to America, get the hell out of here before, well.
Yes, so I understand you're fully employed. And as you can see, that's going to be that first page. Quite important.
Well, I am, yeah. I have money.
Yes. You came into some money.
Well, no, I got a job. It's all above board. It's all legal. It's just, I don't really need to fill this out. I can support him. I have the money.
Mr. Adler, let me explain something to you. Our residents here, they're outside. People think of them as orphans, as those who've been cast aside by society. Here, we have found them a place of education, of safety, security, and we owe them, as we owe the greater society, stability. While I find it commendable that in your newfound opportunity you would seek to take care of your own, we just want to make sure that he can be provided for, not just in the short term, but in the long term, in all the ways that we are doing so here. So forms on your employment, where your residence, what schools you'll be enrolling him in, and of course, a couple of references for yourself, Mr. Adler.
Emil kind of takes a deep breath, trying to calm himself. He's just looking at that place on the form where it says employer. And ma'am, I'm very grateful that you've kept him here, kept him safe, kept a roof over his head. I'm very grateful, but Emil, he's my blood. He's my only blood. The rest of our clan, they're dead or missing. He was my sister's only child. We share the same name.
And Mr. Adler,
We're the last of our name.
here under this roof, how old is young Emil?
Well, let's say 11. I'm going to make a note of that.
Here under this roof, you can be sure that at least 5, and with Emil's progress, perhaps 7 years, he will be ensured that stability, that safety, security, and education, perhaps up to his A levels. If you truly have the best interests of the boy in mind, we need to know that you are ready for that level of commitment and can support him through that. These are not just a formality, Mr. Adler. These are a guarantee, a mutual guarantee. Do you understand?
I do, but I can't fill these out. I have a job. It's you need to just trust me.
She stands and she says, well, you've come this far. Emil will be breaking from his classes soon, and you can join him for lunch. And you can hold on to those forms, Mr. Adler. And when you are ready to complete them, bring them back, and we will be happy to continue this conversation.
He nods, and it's clear that he's thinking about what he can say.
Arthur, the door opens, and there was kind of like an assistant that was out there. Mm-hmm. And then the man that walks in is next to the assistant. You know the type. He's security. He's a bruiser. And as he guides you down to the cafeteria area, you understand that he's not just there as a guide. He's making sure he's keeping an eye on you as much as anything else.
As I leave for the office, I say, thank you for letting me see him.
Yes, of course. And I wish you continued success. We are all on a journey, Mr. Adler, of self-improvement.
He just kind of stares at the papers in his hand as he walks down the hallway.
All right. Should we? How do you guys want to resolve?
Right.
Should
there's
we?
I was going to say,
there's rules.
There's rules about
There's
it, right?
rules.
Yeah.
They're
not
good
nom.
role playing, but
It's
there's
not
an
nom.
option. So let me jump back because I skipped that part. I was so caught up in the storytelling. You
Yeah,
guys
right.
are
It's great.
So, Devin, what is the home scene type that you're choosing to pursue with that first one for Fox?
That first one is staying on the case.
Staying on the case.
The mission. We haven't talked about sort of time passing. I imagine this doesn't take place too long after we return to London.
I'll tell you the course of each of you guys are going to do 2 home scenes, and it's going to be about 6 weeks total from the time you.
And what's the year again?
1940.
Okay. Point of order. Have they started bombing London yet?
No.
Okay. Spoiler.
Alternate. Hey, maybe they don't. Maybe in this universe they don't.
So stay on the case. And maybe we get a little montage of you up at this kind of cold Scottish estate with some recently acquired files, old Great War era folders, and pouring through things as well as your recent documents and reports.
He hires a staff he brings from London up to the manor to keep it.
Yeah, you each were paid £500, which is a considerable amount of money in 1940. I think the equivalent was about £20,000 modern, 25,000 US dollars in current terms. So, you're not set for life, but a good chunk of change. So, the handler secretly rolls criminology or occult for your agent. I don't know why. You can just roll it, right?
They don't want you to know which one you're rolling. Maybe
read the outcome.
Success means you uncover some pertinent clue the handler's devising. Oh, okay. Failure means you find nothing. A fumble. Okay, that's why. A fumble means you think you find a valuable clue that turns out to be dangerously wrong. I see.
Ooh.
Read the entire passage. It's like reading the first line of a spell.
Which I have several skills. You could, since you're throwing out rules, you could use sort of any skill you'd like. Research.
He said there's 2 skills to pick from.
He's
And now you're trying to change it.
Cheater.
He's very slapdash with some of the rules. But that's okay.
Yeah, I like how that's your opinion when it benefits you to change it.
Devin is a classic rules lawyer when the rules are in his favor.
I'm a rule bender.
Sounds like lawyers.
Rule politician.
Loophole enjoyer.
Let me
I'm a rule
Let me see your
capitalist.
character sheet real quick, sir.
A loophole enjoyer sounds so bad.
Yes, it does.
Show me your loophole.
That should be every politician's slogan.
Show me your fucking loophole, bitch.
Grab her right by the loophole.
Grab her by the loophole.
Secret rule. Well, that's interesting. That's a double digit.
Oh, God. Okay.
Do you just get to laugh at the end of your campaign when you tell them that one thing he learned was completely false?
Yeah. Whatever this is, Josh, I'm just gonna fucking ride it into the sunset like a Mustang. Just so you know.
First of all, roll 1d6 minus 3. This is your sanity gain or loss.
I rolled 2 on the dice, so I gain 1 sanity.
You lose 1 sanity. 1d6 minus 3.
So I lose -1. So I
This is
gain.
classic roll. 2 negative, integer becomes positive. You're pouring through these documents. You're going through your report, looking at old after actions from some of the first use of gas. You're looking into some of the inspections Allied troops did in some of the research facilities inside Germany after the Treaty of Versailles, where they oversaw removal of these weapons of mass destruction. And you are very keenly skilled with German military bureaucracy. There's a unique way that those research units had a identifier with their insignia. It was just a certain, different regimental, divisional, all sorts of, standards and things like that. Vary. Some of them carry on old traditions. Sometimes there's new things. But all of the German experimental chemical and biological warfare had a certain style that they added to the bottom of the insignia. And you realize that the Kubelwagen that von Baer was driving had a standard on it. And it had a similar style added to his insignia. Something his prescribed role, from what you understand, does not make sense to you.
He was described as their plunderer.
Right. And essentially a non-military role. And it is definitely a more militant, but in that vein of the experimental nature of these old German warfare research units.
Fox spent some time thinking about why a man like that would be plundering treasure.
That vision of him out there still kind of comes to you, and it's maybe worse now that you put this together.
He still hasn't written his debrief to himself.
Nice. How honest were you in your real debrief?
I omitted things.
Maybe it wasn't as chaotic.
Maybe I didn't see things the way I remember seeing things was not how I actually saw them.
Okay.
Amidst the firefight, My attention was literally being drawn in multiple ways. We proceeded down to the vault. Assisted our wounded comrade, our countryman, and escaped from there. Firefight on the way out, explosions, trucks, stuff like that.
All right. I like that. Back to Emil. Emil, you chose improve skills or stats for that scene. And
it was sort of, the scene came before the mechanics.
Yep, which I like, and I think it ties it in well.
Mm-hmm.
So what 2 skills or stats would you want to...
So I'm thinking that obviously the end goal here for Emil is to get his nephew. And he is not sort of equipped skill-wise to do that unless he blows up the orphanage.
I was about to say, you should up your demolitions.
So I went with bureaucracy and hum int.
Okay.
Both of which I have 10%. The basic.
Very nice.
Freebie.
Okay, so roll them.
Right. Bureaucracy. Failed.
All right.
If I fail, what?
If you fail, 1d10.
Okay.
You gain.
So I gain 6 points of bureaucracy. And then hum int. Fuck, I made it.
Oh, man.
You
I rolled a 3.
You still gain 1 on a success for a skill. If you were trying to improve a stat, like you can also try to improve your base stats, charisma, willpower, strength, whatever. You gain 1 on a fail, none on a success.
In a way, it's sort of fitting based on how that scene went, because he did learn a lot about bureaucracy.
Yep.
And he kind of did like human, like he kind of read the situation right and didn't overreact and, didn't gain much from it.
Now, the downside on that, each increase to a stat or skill reduces 1 bond by 1 as you let other responsibilities lapse. I will say just one of, I won't give that for the
Okay.
success that you had that raised it by 1. So just pick 1 bond.
I'll reduce the bond with Emil by 1. And I think, when I go and I see him for lunch, he just doesn't understand why I don't just take him and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Tough.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
Sedge.
Leo.
Yeah. Leo.
Dan, where do we find Leo?
Leo, he is sitting outside a cafe in London. And I think a waiter comes by and leaves a pot of tea with 2 cups and some sugar and milk. And Leo nods his thanks, watches as the waiter kind of retreats back into the cafe. And then he's waiting, if not impatiently, at this table, looking at a billfold that he has tucked in his wallet, where there's a photograph with him, a few other classmates, and a woman named Sophia King. And in the photo, she's standing next to him, but probably not as close as he would have liked, and hopes that she stands closer still in the future.
What's your name again?
Leo.
Is Leo dressed any differently than we saw him before in the simple attire?
I think he is dressed in not quite, maybe not a full suit, like a vest, shirt, hat, and kind of traditional trousers, but definitely clean, pressed, presentable is the look how I would describe his look. And if otherwise a little anxious, and he's smoking. He's often smoking. He checks his pocket watch. He's probably about 5 minutes early, and he's thinking about what he's going to tell this woman when he sees her. Because the last time they had a chance to speak, he was going to jail.
Okay. You're there in the cafe, maybe trying to control your nerves, something you're probably pretty good at.
Mm-hmm.
At least visibly,
Yes.
Did it with the chief inspector.
but you can't help but check your watch a couple more times because the allotted hour arrives. 5 minutes pass. 10.
He finishes his first cup of tea. He stubs out a cigarette.
15. You're maybe thinking about leaving when you see her. She turns the corner, and the rain from earlier today is lifted, and there's kind of that post rain kind of captures the light sometimes. Still the humidity and the moisture in the air, and she kind of turns that corner to walk towards the cafe, and her hair kind of swishes away. You lock onto her eyes and her face, and then as you kind of look her over and she gets closer to the table, she reaches up and kind of crosses her handbag across, and on her left hand, on her ring finger, that post-rain sun glints off what can only be an engagement ring.
Mazel tov.
Brutal.
He tries not to. His look, the smile that he had when he saw her, kind of as he was kind of appraising her, and then sees the ring, not to let his face kind of fall when he sees that ring. And he says, Sophia, I'm so glad you made it. Please, have a seat. And he pulls out a chair.
She stands like a little awkwardly at first, like not knowing how to greet you, whether to offer a hand, whatever. And then instead she just sits without any contact and offers you a smile.
Would you like tea?
Yes, please. I'm sorry I was late. She reaches down and touches the ring on her finger.
Yeah, no worries, love. I mean, I made you wait long enough.
Are you supposed to be on the streets?
He smirks at this. I am indeed, love. I've got a new job. Mind you, it's a real job. It's legitimate.
Not one that gives times for letter writing. Calls.
I can't say the details, love.
You can't talk about it.
How about you then? What have you got to say? He looks down at her hand.
She kind of reaches for the tea and then doesn't even take a sip and sets it back down. I'm sorry, Leo. I think this might have been a mistake.
No, I understand. I just wanted to see you, and I wanted to explain. The whole thing was a misunderstanding. I'm out. See, I mean, I'm a free man. I must be innocent.
She looks at you and she says, and what are you doing for work?
It's real work. It's good work. I'm doing the right thing now. That's all I can tell you.
She stands and you see real pain in her face. Leo, when you can tell me about what you're doing with your life, I'd like to hear from you again. But I'm moving on with mine.
He's sitting there. He doesn't get up when she stands, and he's looking at her. And he says, and he shrugs his shoulders. I make real money now. I could take care of you.
It was never about the money, Leo. She turns, walks away. You see her stop at that corner. You can read people all right. You can tell she's kind of fighting to look back, but she doesn't.
Brutal.
Leo lights a cigarette, tosses some shrapnel on the table, walks off.
All right.
At least you got a conversation. My character in Ithaca Project got broken up on a phone call.
You're lucky it wasn't a letter.
Oh, man.
That was for personal motivation.
How'd that go?
Maybe, I guess I can roll to see if it was a success or failure. and I
Yeah.
could kind of flavor it depending on how that goes.
You didn't tell me anything about how you wanted to play out, so I hope you
Yes.
don't mind.
No. It was good that it went that way. And because, like we said, we wanted to kind of let some of this be open ended for the table. So I will roll. This is for if it's a success, I gain sanity.
Correct.
So same roll as last time for sanity checks.
If you succeed, she does a sinful act to
Fuck's
herself
sake.
tonight, thinking about you.
I rolled a crit fail.
Oh man.
A crit fail.
She really has
88.
moved on.
I think that's appropriate here.
Yeah.
Fumble costs 1 sanity.
Burn.
I think the dice followed the story on that one.
Yeah, right? That's crazy. Okay. Perfect. I lost my 69 sanity.
Giggity, giggity, yeah.
I won't have that back for a while.
Well, I'd like to go to Matt. But we
hear the
can't,
sounds of
we can't
crickets.
really go to
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that happiness aside, let's circle back to Frederick Fox. Some more time has passed. As I said, probably about 6 weeks from the beginning to the end of these home scenes. So kind of wherever you want this to fall in, or it might take a portion of that time. But where do we come back to Mr. Fox?
I think I'm going to follow that thread. This manor up north of London. You said it's Scotland, right?
In southern Scotland, kind of in the Highlands.
Wow. Okay.
That's way out there.
This beautiful Highland manor. This is actually
Just a nice 10-hour train drive.
might make sense.
Train,
Might make sense
train ride.
why Fox gets a letter one day. And it's delivered by a courier, a military courier, and it instructs him that there are suspected Nazi sympathizers and agents in southern Scotland, and that they would like Mr. Fox to surveil and investigate and interview them if possible. And I'm going to do some skill training myself in being a hoity-toity London lad. He's going to work on disguise, in dressing in a different way, in mixing in with people just to be seen as one of them, and also stealth, in surveilling and following these individuals and gathering intelligence on their movements. He has been instructed not to act unless deemed necessary, but he does have that purview.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, let me see. I want to get a date on this because the historical accuracy is very important to me in this alternative history game. Just that I referenced.
We're just presenting
all.
alternative history.
Is actually pretty interesting. The British Union of Fascists was a party founded by Oswald Mosley. For anybody that's watched Peaky Blinders, actually plays a very prominent role in the last couple seasons, or maybe not the last two, but in one or two of the seasons, he's a major figure, and it's pretty interesting to see it unfold. They had a not insignificant following. Something we all like to forget. Things like Nazi rallies in Madison
York,
Square Garden.
The German Bund Party.
Fortunately, fascism is long since extinct.
Fuck's sake.
Never to raise its dark head again. In the glorious Western democracies. But in this fantastical setting, and even the historical setting, it is indeed a real thing. You think, from your kind of research, that a good way to kind of get into this would be perhaps a well-dressed gentleman.
Sure.
Fitting your new digs.
Yep.
A wealthy Londoner who's acquired some land in the hinterlands.
Moves away from the hustle and bustle of the city in the heart of British power.
So maybe you play your cards right. You end up, a couple social gatherings and end up getting an invite to a card game. Gentlemen,
Of course.
the night kind of goes on a bit. the ladies retire to the sitting room to
Cigars come out.
sip Aperol spritzes. The gentlemen are drinking whiskey and cigars, playing some cards. And a couple of them stand bidding adieu for the night, head back out. And there's a couple of you left, and throw open the doors. There's a balcony off this room, looks out over the grounds. A nice, another nice estate. This one in better upkeep than yours.
I have an attendant who comes with me and brings me all of my drinks, and they have no alcohol in them whatsoever.
Ah, very nice. So this gentleman you're talking to, you've kind of leaned into this role. There was talk of, politics and news. Nobody said anything very untowards, but this conversation kind of leads on. And there's one guy out with you. Now he's actually the resident of the home.
I've complimented it many times since we've been here.
George Kroll. He's an industrialist. Made his money busting up strikes, taking over machine shops and some of the Midland towns and cities. Came from very little, as he's reminded you multiple times throughout the night.
Yeah.
And
reasonable that you would want to protect your interests, Mr. Crow.
well, it's really the least we can do, because God knows the king and the government certainly aren't doing it.
If someone were to provide stability, it should be the businesses.
What can we do? You see, they're now dispatching more troops to Norway, fighting the Nazis in Norway. The Nazis were merely trying to manage their own economy and industry.
And instigating them across the world brings them closer to us.
Here we are intervening, breaking up free trade, trying to prevent Swedish iron from reaching German smelting plants. We're paying the price of that goddamn Treaty of Versailles still over 20 years later. Foolish, no foresight. And here we are, and who's going to pay the cost?
Want to ask more from us, I suppose.
Crazy how good Josh is at making Nazi arguments. What a good role player.
He really digs deep to find media.
Okay, all right.
I'm convinced.
We're going to sit here and watch another generation being sent off to fight for these imperialists. Our affairs are not on the continent. There's our empire spans from rising to setting sun. And we're going to put boys in the ground, back in Flanders, back in Norway. Outrageous. Well, what did you introduce yourself as?
I introduced myself as
Austin Powers.
Claude Powers.
Well, Mr. Powers, I'll let you know. I belong to an organization, and His Majesty's government is doing everything in their power to limit our voice.
I hope there's not a fee for entry. I'm not quite sure I'd stack up.
No fee. Like minds, like causes. We're having a little meeting next Saturday. He slides you a card. It's there's a crest on it. BUF, British Union of Fascists.
I rub my finger along the logo. I appreciate your hospitality, Mr. Crow. I'm very interested in more you'd have to say.
I think you'll find some good conversation and good peers there.
You have a voice in this group here. Others like you. They listen. If I were to come up with some ideas, would they listen to me?
Mr. Powers, I'm going to introduce you myself to a visionary man. I'm sure you've heard of him, and if you haven't had the fortune to hear him speak, well, you might next week. Sir Oswald Mosley himself. And we'll cut it there.
I wash my hands when I get home.
What were you what What were you trying to achieve?
Yeah, what was the mechanic?
Yeah, the mechanic.
Just wanted to jam out with my boy Josh.
Riff on some pro-Nazi stuff.
The mechanic I want to achieve, or the skills I want to improve, are disguise. And first, I was thinking stealth, but I think there might be another skill that might make more sense.
I mean, the stealth could have been part of the information gathering we didn't see on
true.
the screen.
That's true.
That kind of sets you up for that.
Could do persuade though.
I could do persuade.
Yep.
I'm going to try humans. I have a 50 human, so it's a coin toss. But I think I have a low skill in disguise, and then take a shot at another skill with humans.
So disguise and human.
Yep.
So let's roll disguise first.
I fail.
Fail. All right. 1d10.
7.
Nice.
Nice.
Big.
And then roll at human.
Success.
Success. So gain 1.
Okay, cool.
And 1 bond is going to lose 1. As
It's almost like you believe a little bit of it.
No.
I guess they have some good ideas.
The young vicar.
Got great stationery.
Yeah, it makes sense. You haven't been away from London for some time.
I have. And definitely collaborating or even feigning collaboration with fascists is a sin on his soul that I don't think a young vicar he would confide in.
All right. Jake, Emil. Number 2.
Emil is going to therapy,
Going to therapy.
but he's going to.
That's not a thing back then.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah. We see a foggy street in London at night, and a window with a red light inside, and painted on the glass it says Madame Rossetti, clairvoyant. Inside, or rather, Emil walks in. A little bell on the door rings.
Ding, ding, ding. I'll do that in post.
This isn't his first time here.
The curtain gets drawn back from the back room,
He's got that new suit on. And he hangs his hat up on a coat rack.
and said, Madame Rossetti.
Yeah.
Madame Rossetti steps out. She a member of your
No, I was thinking she's Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
She steps out, and you said you've been here before.
Yeah.
Think you've told her? Does she know your real name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Oh, Emil, I had a feeling I'd be seeing you soon.
You did?
Yes, yes. Last night, with the heavy rain, I felt trouble. I felt many of those who come to me. I feel the connection. It stays, and I feel through troubled weather when there's a trouble in their hearts and their souls. I think you need to come with me to the back. Yeah.
He nods, follows her into the back.
She sits. She starts going through her kind of ritual. I don't know how much you believe in some of these practices, if it's honest belief or if it is kind of ritualistic in a way, but it does remind you, of some of the ways of some of the people that you grew up around.
I think Emil knows that. I don't think he really necessarily believes in it in a sort of mystical way. I think he knows people that do this, and he knows that those people are good at reading someone and knowing kind of just being good listeners and good talkers, and he understands maybe on more of a subconscious level, but he knows that that's kind of why he comes here.
Though the storm broke, I feel in you there is still thunder, lightning.
He nods and says, I can't really talk about what I do, but
You do not have to speak all of it. I can see in your face the effects on you. Now, tell me what is in your heart. What is troubling you? What do you wish to resolve?
I've done some things for England.
She starts
for the
flipping
moon.
some cards.
Military work. I've killed some people. They're bad people. It was war.
The Three of Swords. Violence, a death. The Three of Swords is not a good nor a bad omen. It is a reflection of the world we live in, the things some men must do in it.
He's nodding. Should I feel bad about these things I do, though?
The prince, royalty, a crown. This is something that asks for the sword.
Wait, a crown? A sword?
Yes, the prince, who wears a crown, he wields the sword, or he asks those to wield it.
Yeah.
We do not know now if the prince fights for good or for ill. Do you feel this is the prince? Do you feel this call to you?
Emil looks kind of in shock.
It's funny, I didn't even think of the actual connotation. I'm channeling it!
You should see the Foley work that's going on here, people.
I know what this means. I do. But the things that I had to do for the crown, I had to kill many people. And I would be called a hero, but I wonder if I should feel bad about it.
The tower. This card is in your future. We see the past, the present, the future. You bear the pain of wielding the sword. It weighs on you. The things you've done, seen. Ahead, there is a tower. This could represent a challenge. There's a light in the tower. A lighthouse. A beacon. It could be where the prince calls you to or sends you to go.
Can I make an occult roll?
Yeah.
I got a 20. Pretty good, right? I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Say, my babo used to read cards, and the tower always meant that tragedy was coming.
Not always, but frequently. What is true of the tower is tragedy is in someone's future, but it may not be yours. My son, the guilt you feel in your heart.
No, that's just it. I don't feel any guilt. And it's like the guards at Buchenwald, they didn't see that what they did was wrong, and that I wonder if I should. I wonder if I should feel guilt, but I don't.
Amelia, your tribulations, I fear, are not at an end. The tower awaits you. What you face there, and how you face it, that will lead you to know if there must be a burden on your heart or if you are free. Look for the tower.
He nods.
That'll be £5. All right, so go to therapy.
What's the mechanical?
What's the mechanic?
Your agent must decide whether to truthfully tell the therapist what caused the sanity loss. I wouldn't say you're dishonest, but you weren't maybe fully open.
Right.
So the mechanic for this is actually a luck roll. Ironically, luck is not normally a game. Normally in Delta Green, when they say luck roll, it's a 50-50.
Right.
But we are actually using a real luck mechanic.
Dan can never go to therapy.
Good God.
You're fucked, bro.
With my 6.
So are we using our luck our luck score?
Yes.
All right.
If the therapist thinks the agent's stories are lies or delusions, make the luck roll minus 20. I won't say that, but I will say you weren't maybe fully open. So I'm going to say
Okay.
minus 10%.
All right. So that gives me a 44.
Here we go.
Made it. I got a 20.
Okay. Regain 1d6 sanity.
Okay.
What's it like to make rolls?
If you fail, by the way, you do get 1.
Okay.
If you fumble, you lose 1.
I gained 3 sanity, so I gained back the 3 sanity that I lost from the violence.
Okay.
So fitting.
That's pretty big. All right, nice. And all right, our last scene. Let's circle back to Leo.
All right. Leo, it's late. Maybe 1 a.m. He's sitting in a car in a industrial end of London, a place that doesn't have a lot of people at night. Most people have gone home. There are a lot of plants that are still working, but at least in this stretch, he's picked it because it's empty. And he's dressed differently this time. He's got a black bowler hat, black suit, a little more threatening, if anything. And the car is off. And he's looking through the windshield, and he sees at the end of the alleyway another car pull into the alley. And he's waiting to meet a man named Declan Kilburn. He's an associate of Carrion Fitzgerald, one of Leo's partners in crime, as it were, that is still in jail, that did not get out. And he's meeting Declan because he wants to get a firearm that he can use and practice with. Having been now in active combat, he realizes that he is rusty from his days in the Swedish military. And he's reached out through his connections to meet with Declan in order to purchase a gun.
Declan, what's his last name?
Kilburn.
Fucking Irish.
Mm-hmm. So is Carrion Fitzgerald, his partner. He sees the car and he flashes his headlights.
Headlights flash once and then shut off.
Leo gets out of the car and begins walking down the alleyway, his car behind him, looking to meet in the middle.
Car door slam. There's street lamps from the main street that are kind of spilling, so you just kind of see a silhouette moving towards you.
Backlit.
Yep.
Just one?
Just one.
Good.
Give me a alertness roll.
Not a D20. Crit fail, 99.
There's definitely no one else in the alley.
Wow.
You're certain. You'd bet your life on it. I'll let you check alertness.
Yep. It's already checked because of how many times I failed last mission.
Yeah, too bad. The steps echo on the cobblestone coming towards you. That lingering kind of wet slap from the rain earlier. Well, must be out on good behavior.
I am indeed.
No surprise there. You're always such a choir boy.
I don't think I like the implication. Do you have what I need?
I do. Do you have what I need?
Of course. Carrion told you I was good?
Carrion told me you were skilled. He certainly didn't use that word.
Obviously, I'm better than Carrion because I'm out.
Maybe better. Maybe a better talker. Maybe somebody who makes deals.
Leo's kind of eyes, like he was kind of just casting his eyes about the alley. His eyes snap up at that. I'm not a snitch.
So it was good behavior. Funny.
Do you have what I need?
You see him kind of look back, like just quick kind of glance over his right shoulder to the car, and you kind of tense for a second. and then you just hear a car door open.
Leo flashes a look over his shoulder as well, wondering if he's getting pinned in.
Back to your car.
Yeah.
You see a silhouette standing next to your car.
And you know this guy has a gun. He told you he did.
I'm trying to buy one. Oh, boy.
He's pretty sure you don't have a gun.
Yeah. Leo thinks about the knife that he's got in by his ankle, but that's it. I just want to do my business and go. That's all I ask.
The second figure coming from behind him, from the same car that he was in, walks up, and hard to see details of the face, but for a second you kind of like your eyes kind of go wide, because for a second in your head you think, fucking Kyrian, and then you realize no, but close. And Declan says, don't know if you had the pleasure of meeting him. It's Kyrian's brother, Connor. He's got what you need. What, did you ask for a certain type of firearm?
No. I don't think he's maybe that well versed.
Pistol, rifle, shotgun.
He'd like a rifle.
A rifle. Okay. Connor pulls a trench coat back, pulls a hunting rifle. No, he pulls a carbine.
Okay.
Military grade carbine, folding stock. And Declan puts his hand out towards you.
Leo reaches slowly into his breast jacket and pulls out the money and puts it in his palm.
Pleasure doing business with you. And Connor, give him what he asked for and what Kyrian asked for. And in the darkness, it moves quick, and he swings and smashes the stock of the rifle into your temple, and you fucking drop to the cobblestones.
Perfect.
Your head is ringing. You're not unconscious, but you're bleeding and dazed, and then you just feel a thump as the rifle gets dropped on your chest.
He kind of lifts himself up onto one elbow, looking as they walk back to their car. And he says, Connor, tell Kyrian I didn't snitch. I wouldn't. There's things at play here that I can't explain.
They both kind of stop. You hear, can't make out exactly what they say. There's some words pass back and forth between them. Declan says, Connor's got nothing to say. He knows how to keep his fucking mouth shut.
Leo spits out blood and stands.
Till next time, Mr. Krona.
We just lost all of our Irish listeners.
It's a Northern Irish accent.
Yeah. And English.
No way, because they're going to be like, these people, every fucking Irish character is a bad guy, a fucking criminal, huh?
And as we've established in the alternative history, this is what a Northern Irish accent sounds like.
Perfect. Wonder what these guys are going to be doing in 15 years.
All right.
Yikes, stripes.
And what was this one?
So the funny
They were the
thing
good
was,
guys.
I was going to up... I was thinking of upping skill firearms, as, you know, having gotten the firearm to practice with. And I was going to maybe up criminology.
I think that's appropriate.
But I also thought maybe this is a good time to up constitution. So how does raising the stat work?
All right, so let's do
Roll.
firearms first.
Okay.
So roll your firearms. You would succeed, wouldn't you?
41 over 40.
Oh, shit.
You
Okay.
failed. Nice.
Roll a D10.
I am saying 41 over 40 with a caveat.
You guys failed firearms, but I told you guys not to improve them yet.
Okay. Because I had originally improved it on my character sheet, which means I had a 42, but technically I have a 40.
I'm going to hold you to that, and that's
Yes.
why you won't get the alertness again.
Okay. Okay, so I got the firearms, and now what?
So
Roll
roll
a
a
D10.
D10.
7.
Nice. All right, and now your con times 5. Roll that as a test. So your con's what?
My con is a 10.
10, so
50.
50. So 50-50 chance.
58.
58. Fail. All right. You gain 1. Your con goes up to 11. What's your strength?
11.
I think I forgot if I said round up or down in your hit points. I think I said down, right? So that you had 10 before?
You said round up.
Let's see. Hit points. I
Did
had
I?
10. Yes. I had 10.
It would go up to 11. Because
Okay.
now I think I said round down.
I don't know. I thought you said round up because it's.
We all going to die?
Yeah.
Well, what did you have?
I have 11.
What are your 2 stats?
Strength and con. It is 21.
21. I thought I said round down. But you'll be up to 11 hit points and we'll fucking deal with you later.
Yep.
I'm just telling you what I got. I did it exactly as you were telling us to do it.
Either way, it would have
Yes.
been 11 before, but yeah, your con's up to an 11, so 55 for the times 5. But that means 2 bonds go down.
Well, I know I could probably lower my one with Sophia King,
That makes sense.
and I can lower it with Carrion as well.
I think that also maybe makes sense. All right.
Can I do one more quick little thing? Little look in?
God damn it.
General Sikorsky's residence.
Sure.
It's just raining one night, and the door opens. It's the 2 guards. They're like special unit big guys.
The Polish Hussars.
The Polish Hussars. They open the doors because in comes Colonel Benjamin Tentley and Frederick Fox, and an honor guard holding a Polish flag folded in the British tradition. And Frederick presents a bottle of vodka as well. And then we just fade out on General Sikorsky ushering them into the room.
Nice. Like that. Pour one out for Adrian, everybody. About 6 weeks pass. It is heading towards mid-May. I'm sure some of you pay more or less attention to the news, but there are headlines that none of you can miss. Some that came up, but in the interim, the war had been relatively quiet after the invasion of Poland. That'll change in April. The Germans launch a kind of lightning offensive into Denmark and Norway. Denmark falls in just a couple days. Norway turns into an extended campaign where the British do a counter invasion. The French send troops. There's fighting kind of back and forth. And as it stands now, the Allied forces have fallen back to just the north of Norway. The main populated areas, southern and central Norway, are completely under German control, and including the capitals. The Norwegian king at this point has vowed to fight on. There's already been a coup attempt by fascist sympathizers in Norway, and it's pretty chaotic. And then on Friday, May 10th, the news comes over the wire that German forces have moved into the Netherlands and Belgium. And as the news rapidly spreads over the next couple days, it is clear that the Western Front is quiet no longer. It's Sunday, May 12th, when you are all summoned by Colonel Benjamin Tentley. We'll say, Fox, you are already back in London. Maybe by chance, maybe with the news that had happened, you might kind of feel drawn to get back.
Nothing's by chance nowadays.
Tentley reached out to each of you in whatever ways you were contacted. And you were summoned to his office early on Sunday morning. You come in. It's a government building, high security, and much busier than it should normally be on a Sunday. There's kind of just military officers bustling back and forth, intelligence. You hear radios chattering. You're kept away from a lot of the high security areas, but this is the British Ministry of Intelligence, and you're led into an office. You are in there alone for a few minutes, the three of you. You probably haven't been in the same room since you got back to England.
I admire Emil's new suit. That's a good color on you.
Oh, thank you.
You're right, Leon.
He's got a split cheek where it's probably, looks like it's maybe a week old. Doing just dandy.
Following your return from Operation Excalibur, you had all been told by Tentley to stand by, that he would be reaching back out to you in the future. And that's the last you heard until last night. Just a couple minutes you're in there, and then the door opens and Tentley comes in. And the last time you saw him looked the same as that briefing at Sikorsky's. Very well put together, well-dressed, medals, clean-shaven. Looks a little different now. You see bags under his eyes, 5 o'clock shadow. His uniform's a little bit rumpled. Looks like he probably hasn't slept for at least 2 days. Yes, gentlemen, thank you for coming on short notice. Please have a seat. A tea?
Leo nods.
He gestures and attendant goes back out, returns quickly with some tea. You can see from a couple cup stains on the desk that he's probably been going at the old British tea pretty much nonstop.
Leo says, things going as well as you look.
If only they were going that well. Gentlemen, I told you I'd be reaching back out to you, and I planned on doing it in our time. We're in the process of putting together a new unit, an organization, something designed to put together men of disparate backgrounds and skills
Leo raises an eyebrow.
for missions vital to the crown. And it's coming. And some events have moved things up. Consider this a informal job offer. Hopefully, by the time you return and return safely, we'll have the paperwork all drawn up and have you under proper employment under His Majesty's crown.
Proper employment.
Yes. You will be employed directly by the British Ministry of Intelligence in a non-uniform role. But for now, we have something quite time-sensitive. If you've been following the news about what's happening in Norway, we've got a bit of a snafu. Fighting has not fared particularly well. Our forces have fallen back to the north of Norway. But with the German offensive in the Low Countries, the French and even some of our British commanders are asking for reinforcements on the Western Front. We're not going to keep fighting there for long up in Norway. The king has vowed to fight on and to withdraw as many of his forces as needed to carry that out. However, last week, a Norwegian regiment that was holding Trondheim for forces to withdraw to the north performed a rearguard action. They were cut off, nearly annihilated. Scattered elements made their way back to friendly lines. This unit was commanded by Crown Prince Olav.
Who?
The Crown Prince of Norway. He's first in line to the crown. He's a well-regarded military commander, educated both in Norway and here in England, and he has acquitted himself quite well on the battlefield. The reports coming in is that his unit was ambushed. The prince himself was wounded, but that survivors, whether they're resistance or uniformed soldiers, managed to get him into Trondheim into hiding. We dispatched a British commando unit who was going to parachute in east of Trondheim and try to get him and exfiltrate to the north. Friday night, the plane crashed into the mountains. Best we know, there are no survivors. We don't have much time. We don't know if the Germans are aware that it's the crown prince that's in hiding or what the situation is there. We know that the Germans are in command of the area. There's elements of a mountain division that have garrisoned Trondheim, and they are advancing to the north carrying on regular fighting. We have contacts inside and a way to get you in. Gentlemen, are you up for getting the Crown Prince out of Norway?
Do you need us to sign a paper? Can we shake your hand?
Times like this, a handshake and a toast will do.
And if I understand it, we're Plan B.
You moved up to A. And we'll fade out from there.
Yes.
The 18.
Thank you guys again for listening to the Nastygram RPG podcast for our London Calling arc. Our intro music, as always, is Walking with Michael Douglas by Wilhelm Scream. The arc theme is Dark Ritual by Adrian von Ziegler. All scores by Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Martikainen. A very special thanks to David for his collaboration, translation, and recording of our cool little newsreel segments of the 2v Wolf, the besten Spielleiter der Welt, 2D12, the best game masters in the world, a fantastic German language podcast about game mastering tabletop RPGs. Absolutely check it out if you speak German, and if not, take a listen, maybe learn, and at least give them a little bump. If you like what we do, we hope you consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/nastygram. You get access to all sorts of cool bonus content, special members-only feed, Discord, and lots of other cool features. Find us on most socials, searching Nastygram RPG, and to scratch your sword and sorcery itch, subscribe to the Nastygram D&D podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.
So, Devin
Considering I missed every single shot I took.
broke out the new rules, and
course he did.
they're better
I was the first one to buy the book out of all of you.
for you. God, he's so annoying sometimes with that, isn't he?
People like the dice sound in the
Did you put that
podcast.
in your journal?